Welcome back, traders. I'm going to give you an inside look at order flow today and how I executed this trade today based on pure order flow. But before I go over that, I have a free Discord I just launched. The link is in the description below. Inside of there, I'm giving away a free PDF on order flow. It's just the very basics, but it is a very good starting point. So let's get into the video here now, and I'm going to walk you through what I saw on the order flow in order to execute my trade today. I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say here is financial advice. This is simply for educational purposes. Trading is risky, and most people lose all of their capital that they trade with. I don't make any promises or guarantees of anything whatsoever. All right, on the charts here today, you can see it's the afternoon. It's still a live market. This was NFP day today, and right here on the charts, I'll go ahead and just circle real quick. This was the NFP move this morning. This is the 1 hour chart on NQ. And when price was pushing up here this morning, I'm going to share with you what I saw on the order flow as we approach these levels where I was looking for some type of confluence to get short. Okay, so now I've dropped down to the 1 minute time frame and I marked off the 9:30 a.m. open represented by the yellow line. The green line is just marking off the even level 23,900 because I was looking for price to wick through that or tap into that area. So after the open here at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, I was looking for a short. The first clue that told me, say, hey, I should probably be looking for shorts was when I looked at the DOM and order flow. I'm going to share that with you now. So this is Bookmap. Just to describe it as simply as possible, these large bubbles you see, they're buyers and sellers in the market. On the right-hand side are resting orders in the market here. They're not market orders, they're just simply limit orders. When I saw this right here at 9:30, this large buying pressure coming in, and price wasn't going any higher, that indicated to me immediately that there was some type of absorption there, meaning buyers couldn't break through that level because above this area here, there were hidden orders on the market that weren't displayed in the DOM, and there was a lot of selling pressure here. So buyers couldn't push this any higher at all. That was my first clue that, okay, this is probably getting close to an area where I may want to be looking for shorts, but I need further confluence than this. I just can't look at the DOM and look at Bookmap and say, hey, buyers are being absorbed, so now it's time to short. I need a couple other confluences. So now let me go ahead and get into those and share them with you here. Okay, so this is the Addis charts, and this is my footprint charts. I'm going to walk you through a few things here. The blue line represents the 9:30 a.m. Eastern open, and I'm going to take you to the first clue that said, hey, we may be looking for some kind of reversal here. So as I zoom into this, it's going to show me the buyers and sellers or the number of NQ contracts that were bought and sold at market. Over here to the left, if I zoom into this area right here, there was something interesting I saw right over here, right in this area, okay? So I want you to look down towards the bottom of your screen. Do you see this green? Do you see these two green up close candles here? And do you see this down here, how this is pink, this negative delta? All right, that means there was 5.4% more sellers than buyers all the way up here, but yet the candle closed higher. Same on this previous candle. Same on this previous candle right here. Green candle, 3% roughly more sellers than buyers, yet the market is still going up. So that means to me, that's telling me right away, when I zoom out here on this chart right here, I'll turn it back in the candles so it's easy to understand. All right, remember, this is our 9:30 a.m. Eastern 9:30 a.m. Eastern open over here. So right over here, this is happening. That's telling me right now that we have absorption going on. All right, and I just showed that to you on Bookmap. If I go back to Bookmap, you can see that right here. That's that big green bubble on the screen here. All right, there's some kind of absorption going on in this area. So that means the big players are trying to drive this market back down. So now that I have this information, I'm gathering this information. How do I know where I have the best probability or the highest chance of a trade working in my favor to enter? So let me get into that now. So as I scroll over here, I'm going to zoom out just a bit and squish these. All right. We've already swept over here this 23,900 level, give or take. So I'm getting ready. I'm looking for a large down close candle with a fair value gap in it. And I want it to have either imbalance or I want it to show extreme selling pressure. All right. So none of these candles show this here. And in just a minute, I'm also going to share with you how to find that confluence on TradingView. So if you're not somebody who is using Addis charts, it's fine because it also happened on TradingView footprint charts. So over here in this big red candle, do you see it? I'll zoom in on it here. I'll just kind of put it in the center of the screen. When I zoom into this here, it's going to show me the orders in here. When I zoom all the way in, I'm going to get really close here because I want to show you what's happening. Here are these numbers. Here they come. We'll get this nice and large here. Okay. Do you see what's happening here in this candle? When you understand this, this becomes, I can't even describe how powerful this becomes when you understand this and when you can couple this with other confluences or other concepts that you may be used to trading. When I see this right here, this is 13, 14, 11, 25, 20, 10 people or number of contracts being sold at that price, at market value, at that specific price level. This is called stacked imbalance. And when all these are coming in at such a large ratio, there's zero people hitting the ask or zero buyers hitting the ask here. That's a big player. And especially when it just keeps stacking like this, I can find these stacked imbalances. Like if I go up further here, all these orange numbers in a row, I have it set so it indicates to me that stacked imbalance. And they're not just small contracts. There's groups of them here like 21, 14, 25. And these aren't micros. These are minis, okay? These are large institutions likely doing this. So when I saw that in this big red candle, that immediately, let me zoom back out here so it's easy to see. That immediately tells me that this area right in here, okay, this area right in here, there's a high probability that that area is going to be defended by sellers if price comes back to it. All right, or in and around that area, roughly. So what I'm looking for here now in this is a retest in this area, and that's where I'm picking up my short because now I have further confluences and everything is coming together, and I'm extremely confident or I have the conviction in my trade there. And when I had that, I'll tell you what, trading becomes so much more relaxed rather than just taking a position randomly in the chart somewhere because you saw something or because I saw something or based on one single confluence. But when I see all these pieces coming together, I feel so much better getting into my position and then walking away, not having to worry about it as much. Obviously, I could still lose. It's just a probability. It's just a game of probabilities, right? So what happens later? This thing just absolutely crushes and it sells off. You can see it right here, all the way down. Now, I didn't hold this all the way down. I did manage properly. My first target was this low right here over here. This was actually over here. This was actually the data wick low of NFP. And I honestly didn't think we were going to get down that low, but I knew it was a possible draw. So that's where I was looking to go. All right, now let me share with you what this looks on TradingView. So in case you're somebody that uses TradingView, you want to see what this looks like over there. Full disclaimer here, TradingView footprint charts, they do repaint, so it can be tough to use them. So I use a static setting so that there's less repainting going on. Let me walk over to TradingView now. All right, back to TradingView. Here's the same chart again. Here's that giant candle that pushed down right here. Okay, here's that giant candle that pushed down right here. Now I'm going to pull up the TradingView footprint charts. And I'm going to go here and just do volume footprint, and it's going to populate. So I have mine set on TradingView to show stacked imbalances, and you can see that represented here by these red bars. Okay, right here, these red bars. When I see this happening on TradingView and Addis, it's like all the stars are aligning together for me. Because sometimes, believe it or not, because the way TradingView aggregates data, and I'll just give you a really quick example here. If I zoom in here, these price points here in TradingView, they're not at the tick level. TradingView can only aggregate data every 1 second. So that means it's grouping these numbers into 1 second intervals. So it's not actual tick data, and these aren't the actual number of buyers or sellers. All right. But what it does naturally is it naturally creates this smoothing, and I actually get better reads from TradingView than Addis in a lot of cases. So if I see it on TradingView, I will sometimes glance at Addis and then look back to TradingView and say, all right, I'm just going off of TradingView because I understand how it aggregates data and works there and does this whole smoothing. It's almost like a natural filter. So that was my setup here today. And after that, price sold off, and then it just consolidated with what it's doing right now. If I come all the way down here, way down at the bottom, it's just moving around, consolidating. And to be honest, I don't know what it's going to do right now. This is just junky price action that I would rather not be trading, to be quite truthful. So That's it. Again, if you liked what you saw here, hop in my free Discord. I have a PDF that goes over this. It's about 12 to 15 pages long, absolutely free. And I'm giving away a bunch of educational content in my Discord as well. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video here.